everyone, and welcome to another broadcast of the West Coast Madden Podcast. I'm Shanegotyou11, and with me, as always, is Trey.
Yes, how's it going, guys? We are back here again for another episode of the West Coast Madden Podcast. Hope you guys are having a good week so far, and let me know in the comment section below how your weather's been. I know that it's been getting pretty cold as of late. I mean, over here where I'm from, it's definitely getting pretty cold, and I know Shane is probably getting like really big snow over where he's at.
Yeah, we've
So,
gotten about a foot on the ground, actually.
oh really?
Yeah, we've had
Yeah.
about a foot on the ground right now. And we're supposed to get more
So
snow this weekend unless it gets too warm, and it's supposed to rain.
okay, so growing up, because you didn't like you grew up like when you went to school and all that, like you were kind of in a different area, but it was basically the same thing, right?
Actually got more snow at the area I
Yeah.
grew up on because a little bit higher elevation, and it was a little bit colder than in the city.
Oh. So when you were growing up, did you get like a lot of snow days because there was so much snow, or was it one of those things to where like even when there was a lot of snow, you still had to go to school? Or
It sucked. You'd have to go to school lots of times because I mean they were used to it.
right. Okay. Yeah, well, I feel like it depends because I feel like over here, like some of them get like 2 hour delays and stuff like that. So, but I didn't really get a lot of them when I was in school. So, but but yeah, we definitely had. We're coming off of the divisional championship game. Let me know in the comments if you're excited about the conference team or if you're upset about that your team got eliminated earlier. But I mean, it was like blowout after blowout. I mean, the Ravens and the Chiefs. I mean, who would have thought that the game went the way it did? Or I I always mess up the team. What was it? It was the Chiefs and the Titans. My bad. I apologize,
No, it was
but
the
no.
Chiefs and the Texans. It was the Chiefs and the Texans.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, it was Chiefs and the Texans, and then Baltimore and the Titans. And Titans beat the Baltimore Ravens, like I guess, but I
Yeah.
was wrong on Houston and the Chiefs.
Yeah. I don't know. I still like Lamar Jackson. I think that I still think that he's the real deal. It's just what I think he's gonna get over that hump eventually in the playoffs. I know it's been kind of rough for him over the last couple of years, but I think that it's something that they can overcome. But the Titans are a good team. Wouldn't you agree with me? Like, I mean, Derrick Henry is just
Yeah,
like,
honestly though, is Lamar Jackson's already getting that stigma of being a choker in the playoffs.
yeah,
And I know it's only been 2 years. I know you like him, and I don't go to one end of the spectrum or not a lot of times, but I mean I think when I was looking it up, I think his touchdowns are like 3 touchdowns to like 7 picks or something like that in 2 playoff games. In the first half, he's 0 touchdowns and 5 picks, and they're in a big hole, and then he'll get like a touchdown or two when the game's already a blowout, and then also he's lost 5 fumbles, so he's had basically like 12 or 11 or 12 turnovers lost by himself in 2 games. That's a lot. That's really a lot, man. But I mean, it's also just the first 2 years. If it continues next year, that's 3 years, and then it's like, eh. Then if he does it in year 4, then you can be like, okay, he might be a Peyton Manning or a Drew Brees. I mean, people forget that Peyton Manning had that stigma about him too, that he was a choker.
yeah, yeah. I don't know. I think the thing that kind of get that which like to your point, I agree with that, but I don't know. I just think because it's like because I hear people in like Facebook comments saying, like he's like a Michael Vick and that like mobile quarterbacks don't play along, and it's like whenever I hear that, I want to hit him with the okay boomer meme. because we saw Michael Vick and how electrifying he was, and I personally think like Lamar, he can beat you in the pocket. Not saying that Michael Vick can, but I but Michael, unfortunately for Michael Vick, he was in his prime, and then something happened, and he was never really like that guy again.
Well, he
So
never. Unfortunately, also for Michael Vick, he was kind of a blockhead at the start of his career. Besides going to prison, I'll say that
yeah,
he didn't study the playbook. The whole joke is I believe it was Dan Reeves or his coach in Atlanta. He said, "Yeah, we always joked, or they did joke. If we put a paycheck of $100 million in a tape, he probably would have never opened it." And I think Michael Vick laughed and said, "Yeah, that's true." So I mean, that was definitely going against him as well. I mean, so you know what I mean, though. I mean,
yeah,
they're a little bit different. I know, bro. I know you're big on Lamar Jackson, but I mean, his stats in the first 2 years aren't good in the playoffs. Can they change? Yes.
yeah, for sure. But I mean, what was your thoughts about the Texans and Kansas City game? Because I mean, Patrick Mahomes put up 50 points. It was like 21-0. I don't know if you watched that game, but it was like
I, you know,
21 to
I did. I did.
yeah. Like
Um,
they were up 21-0, and then it's like, and then I like messaged you with like the tough game message because that's what happens in Madden. And then lo and behold, they come back, and then yeah, that
Here's
that
my thing.
that's gotta
You
be
want to know
rough.
my biggest opinion on that? What changed the whole game? And people can be like, "Yeah, one play doesn't matter." Whoop de whoop.
Yeah,
When they fake punted.
yeah. That I mean, I agree with that completely because they fake punted. I mean, they had the lead, but it's like not only do they not get the fake punt, but they're in Arrowhead. The fans are wild, and you just get. And then they scored a few points, so literally you just gave all the momentum back to Kansas City. So I agree with that, but
Well, because here's what happened. So they faked it, right?
yeah,
Didn't get it. KC went and scored. And then on the kickoff, they fumbled again, and then it's a touchdown. Now it's 24-21. So, I mean, that changed the whole game. Like, I would have punted. Even in Madden, I would have punted.
yeah. Especially in real football, because in real football you have 15-minute quarters, so you get way more possessions than you do in Madden. But so I know that your Seahawks, unfortunately, they lost to Green Bay. So what was like your expectations heading into the season, and do you think that like what kind of moves do you think that the Seahawks should move to get better next year?
You know, I guessed about 10 or 11 wins. I really did. I thought the
Yeah.
defense was going to be way better than it was. It was terrible. It was bad. Um, I didn't think that all the injuries would hit like it did. I wish that we'd start a little bit faster and stop using conservative. But I mean, it is what it is. Unfortunately, that drop by Malik Turner really hurt when we had the ball with the last time before, and then Aaron Rodgers got a couple third down conversions to ice the game. The defense was terrible. The defense was horrible all year long. We're actually lucky that we have a team to the offense to be able to even make the playoffs this year. I mean, the defense I believe was 23rd for points per game allowed. The only team in the playoffs with a defense that bad. I think if you make the defense 14th or 15th ranked, this team is playing in San Fran. Might even actually be at home.
Yeah.
So I mean, it is what it is. So next year, I mean, they definitely need to get more defensive line help. So I mean, I think they need to go for defensive line. next year to get more
Yeah,
pressure. They had the least pressure amount in the playoffs and the regular season for a team that made the playoffs.
yeah. Do you like that Marshawn is back though?
I thought it was fun. I mean, it looks like he
Yeah,
was really enjoying his time this year, and you know what? He also made a couple touchdown runs that he wouldn't have been able to get, or other players wouldn't have been able to get.
yeah, for sure. And then you have the Vikings and the 49ers at the other NFC side of the spectrum, and I know a lot of people don't like the Vikings, but I'm like one of the people to where I think that Adam Thielen was kind of a bum in that game. I think that their O line is probably their biggest problem. I think Kirk Cousins is a decent quarterback, you know, and I think that if they can upgrade the offensive line, that they're going to be able to, you know, have a real chance because I mean their defense is really pretty balanced. I mean, you have a good D line, and then you have Harrison Smith and all of that. So I think the Vikings should get over that hump pretty soon. But so so what's your predictions? Who do you think is going to make it to the Super Bowl coming up next week?
It's gonna be Casey versus San Fran. I
Oh,
actually,
okay, Casey.
I think
KC
San
versus
Fran's gonna
San
blow.
Fran.
I think San Fran's gonna blow out Green Bay. I think the team that had the best chance to beat San Fran is the Seahawks. I mean, like Nicholas says, San Fran has the number one defense in the whole league. I mean, I think they're. I mean, the only guy that could have hurt Seattle was Devonte Adams, and he did. I have honestly San Fran winning like 31-14. I don't even think it'll be that good of a game. I think it'll be boring. And then I think KC is going to shut down Derrick Henry, and I think I personally think that'll be a closer game. I think it'll be like 24-17. And Nicholas, yeah, the Packers have a good D line. If they can shut down the run and make Jimmy G beat them, I think they'll have a good chance to hang around. But I just don't. I just think San Fran's going to eat. I think they're going to get turnovers on defense. I don't think it's going to be that good of a game. Next Thursday, I might be hiding out in embarrassment, but I don't think San Fran Green Bay will be a good NFC Championship game. I think people will be bored by half. I think it'll be that good, big of a blowout. What about you, Trey? What do you think?
You know what? I think that the Titans are going to stand a chance against KC. I mean, that one's going to be kind of interesting. And the reason that I say that Tennessee might end up winning is because the KC defense has been kind of suspect. I feel like. Um, so and then Mike Vrabel as a coach. I mean, no one really thought. You know, everyone thought that they were going to lose to Baltimore, and they were able to contain Lamar Jackson. So I mean, why can't they contain Patrick Mahomes?
No, I think it'll be I think it'll be a good game. I just here the reason why is I think Patrick Mahomes is better than Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think he's a
They're
better
not. But
passer.
yeah, but what I'm trying to say is that like in terms of how good they're not really that far apart. I mean, they're both beasts at quarterback. So I think that they're kind of on the same level in terms of how good they are. You know what I mean? You know.
I man, I know you're big on Lamar, bro. I would just take Patrick Mahomes all day and night over Lamar right now. I understand that like Lamar is exceptional with his legs and he's a decent pocket passer, but he's no Patrick Mahomes. I think John Harbaugh masked a lot of deficiencies of Lamar Jackson. I'm not totally sold on him, just like I wasn't totally sold on Patrick Mahomes. I want to get a few years. Are they good QBs? Yes, but we're nitpicking. Is I guess what I'm saying. Like I think this year, I think Patrick Mahomes only threw like 26 or 29 touchdowns. So after year one, when he threw what was it, 51 last year,
Right.
and everybody said he's going to have back-to-back 50 touchdown seasons. the league kind of caught on, and he was down to 29, 28 or whatever, or 26, which is really good. But I mean, the league catches on to stuff. So I mean, I'll be interested. I do think the Titans and KC will be the best game of the weekend. I'll say that.
All right. All right. So who would you pick between Jimmy Garoppolo and Aaron Rodgers?
Uh, Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, okay, same here.
I mean, Aaron Rodgers hands down. I mean, if you put Aaron Rodgers on the 49ers right now, 49ers are probably 15-1 right now and winning the Super Bowl hands down for sure. Even though I will have my pick after this weekend, but I'm pretty sure who I will say is going to win the Super Bowl. So I can wait. So, I'll wait on that.
All right.
And yeah, really quick, I will, Nicholas, I'll answer this because you did ask that about Tom Brady going to the Chargers or the Colts. I have heard that he did sell his house in Massachusetts, and I have heard there's been some rumors that he is planning on trying to go to the Chiefs, but I don't, because I personally think it'll hurt one of the two legacies from that dynasty. And Trey is a huge Patriots fan, so I'll ask him after
Yeah.
this. I'm going to kind of flip it on you and be the questioner on this one. So, if Tom Brady leaves and goes to the Chargers, right, Trey? Let's just say,
Yeah.
hypothetical. Chargers suck. New England goes to the playoffs and even makes a Super Bowl. Was it Belichick that controlled the whole organization, and Brady was just a great QB, but more of a system QB? Or if Brady goes to the Chargers, leads them to the AFC Championship or title game, and Belichick can't get out of the AFC East, was it Brady who carried Belichick? Do you see what I'm saying? Because it's hit or
Right.
miss. Because when I look at the Super Bowls, I give more credit to Belichick. I know you're a huge Brady and New England fan, but I give more credit to Belichick, and I might be in the minority here. But when you look
Minority.
at the
Yeah.
stats, Brady would probably only have 2 or 3 Super Bowls if it wasn't for a Belichick-led defense. Answer this for me.
Right.
That's all I'm asking. Answer me what I just kind of threw out to you.
All right. So I feel like this is definitely a debate that happens. People are basically saying that you know, Tom Brady's not as good as he once was. But then there's the other side to where they're like, oh well, he doesn't really have the weapons around him anymore. And keep in mind, I've seen Tom Brady go to the AFC Conference Championship game back in 2006. Literally, that team had absolutely no business being in going in that far. And it took the Colts, and the Colts had Peyton Manning, Dallas Clark, and who does Tom Brady have? Tom Brady has Rashay Caldwell, guys that are literally not around anymore. So,
Okay, but here, I'll flip it on this because I use this on my brother who,
yeah.
likes Brady, yada, yada. When Brady got hurt, I believe it was Matt Castle still had the team to 10 or 11 wins.
Yeah, and I hear that argument too, but I mean the thing you have to realize is that the team that Matt Castle led to 11-5, they just came off of a Super Bowl win. So it's not like the team had a bunch of scrubs. I mean that was a team that were like defending Super Bowl champs a year ago.
Okay, but here, hear me out on this one. This is a good topic, so shout out to Nicholas for bringing this one up. I'm gonna fire up Trey just a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, but do you agree with me though on the Super Bowls though, or do you think Brady still would have 6? I think he'd have only 2 or 3.
Yeah, I mean, who's to really say? I think Tom Brady would have been good anywhere he went, but I mean, it's hard to say, and I mean, who knows? I mean, maybe we'll be able to find out.
Well, that's
Um,
what honestly, bro. That's why if I was Brady, I wouldn't leave because that's all anybody's gonna say. If Brady leaves and sucks, people aren't gonna be. Some people will be like, he's old now, which is true. He's way past his prime. But there's gonna be a lot of people who said, "I told you he couldn't do that without Belichick." But here's my point of view. Okay, so I'm going over New England's Super Bowl wins, right, with Brady.
Yeah.
He won 20-17 his first time. That to me is the defense. Okay, so
Right.
I don't think that he would have won that without the defense. He only scored 20. New England 32-29 over Carolina. I give him credit, so he's 1-1. New England versus Philadelphia 24-21. I give it to the defense because Philly, if you recall, had Donovan McNabb, T.O., and a couple other good. See, so I only have one Super Bowl so far for New England. And then I fast forward the Seahawks and the Patriots. I give credit to Brady on that one, even though the Seahawks had a lot of people get injured. Anyways, so
Yeah.
that's two, and then the Patriots and Falcons 34-28. I give it to Brady. That's three, right?
Hmm.
That's three. New England beating LA Rams 13-3. That is all the defense.
Yeah.
So he has three
And
Super Bowls. Now you could say Philadelphia and New England, so he could have four. So you can argue three or four, but I mean, so yeah, so three or four, would he still be really good? Yes, yes. That's dumb to say he wouldn't, but I do think Belichick should get more credit than some Brady lovers would say. Just like, I mean, even throw it out like, there's people that want Pete Carroll fired, bro. I'll throw it that way. There's some people that want Pete Carroll fired and saying that Russell Wilson would be way better. Do I think he'd be a little bit better stat wise without Pete Carroll? Yeah, I do. I think Pete Carroll's very generic. I think he's like me on Madden on offense.
right. Right.
But he creates a winning culture. So do you want to risk firing Pete Carroll just to make Russell Wilson's stats look even better than they are, but be an 8-8 team just so you can say that Russell Wilson showed out? Or do you want to be 10-6 to 12-4 and make the playoffs every year, but one? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
I like Pete Carroll, man. But I mean, it's a whole argument. Like, how would Pete like? There were literally Seahawk fans saying, "I wish Russell Wilson didn't sign with us."
Oh,
No lie,
really?
bro. No lie.
Yeah.
Because they wanted to show Pete Carroll fans that Russell Wilson could do what he could do with another team. Could he? Yes. But does it mean that he would be 8-8, 9-7? I mean, look at Aaron Rodgers, man. He has one Super Bowl. When he won his first Super Bowl, you know how many people were saying he's going to win three or four, and it's going to be him and Brady for the GOAT status? He has one Super Bowl, man. One.
Yeah.
It's
I
a
mean,
lot harder than it thinks. People that are New England Patriot fans, besides you, they got spoiled. People expect people to be winning championships like the Patriots.
oh
You see
yeah.
what I'm
For
saying?
yeah, for sure. And I mean, and one other thing, I feel like it's pretty important. I feel like, back in the 80s when you had the 49ers and Joe Montana was making the Super Bowl, and I think one other thing that I give Brady credit for is that Bill Walsh brought in Steve Young because he thought that if you brought in Steve Young that it would get Joe Montana to play better. But if you look at Tom Brady and how competitive he is, he never needed that type of motivation because like in any game that he's ever played, and I mean you could even look up stories about how competitive he was. He never really needed that competitive, you know, uh, to get his competitive juices going. So, but but I mean yeah, and I agree with that, and I think that Bill Belichick is definitely the greatest coach of all time. I think that Skip Bayless is kind of an idiot because he was saying, "Oh well, with these cheating scandals, there's no way that he can be the greatest coach of all time." And I'm like, are we playing professional sports or are we playing a friendly game of kickball in the backyard? Like, and not even to bring up like other coaches that because Bill Walsh did anything he can to win. So like,
I mean, for me, there's certain things that cross the boundary. Like I do think Bill and Tom are a little bit shady, bro. Do I think other teams don't do it too?
yeah,
Yeah, I do think other teams do it. I mean, not maybe as much as New England did, because I mean they've been caught numerous times. Which I mean, with this regime, I think it's been 3 or 4 times. You can correct me if I'm wrong. So it's a little bit shady, bro. I mean, now let's change topics in sports really quick. Did you see the allegations today in baseball?
I heard about it. I think did it have something to do with the Astros stealing signs? I don't really
Oh,
follow
so
baseball at
Astros.
all. So
Okay, so here I'm gonna give you guys a topic here. So if you thought New England was bad, which I mean they tried to get away with it. I mean we can be
yeah.
you can be at least honest on that, right, Trey? They tried to get away with cheating,
Yeah,
right?
they tried to get away with cheating. Like I'm not gonna deny it. Like because I'm different than most Patriots fans. Like I don't deny that we did cheat, but like my thing is like if this isn't like I said, this isn't like a high school football league. This is professional sports. These guys are paid millions of dollars to
Well,
win.
well, yeah,
Like
but so here's the thing. So Houston basically cheated to win the World Series. So did Boston.
right.
I mean, Houston was having cameras zoned in on the pitcher, and then they'd hit the trash can to let them know what the pitch is happening. So if you hear the trash can, it was like a changeup. If you didn't
Okay.
hear it, it was a
Okay.
fastball. Well, then I guess even in the ALCS versus the Yankees, they were wearing a wire. Jose Altuve, the huge star for Houston, was wearing a wire that was getting told what pitch was coming. And they believe now that's why he turned around the 102 mile per hour fastball from the Yankees closer. That's big time cheating. Like I mean, that's like you're gone from baseball if they could prove it 100%. Like gone. That's over the top cheating. So like, did New England Patriots do it like that? No. Did they try to break the rules? Yes. Did they? Did they? Were they? Are they dirty? Yeah, they're a little bit dirty. But are
Yeah.
they dirty on the aspect of like Houston Astros, Boston Red Sox? Nah. I mean that's dirty, man. I mean
Yeah.
that's bad. That's really bad. But we can get back on
And
the football topic.
yeah. And and I think it also has something to do with about how like blatant it is. Like I mean like stuff like that, and then like like what the Patriots did with Spygate. That's a little bit cheating, but I mean like the whole thing with the Titans when they played the Patriots and they were using the
Deflated balls.
loophole. Yeah, the loophole. With the clock, where like if they get a delay a game, then the clock
Oh,
would
oh,
be.
okay. You're talking about that. Yeah, yeah. But didn't the Patriots do that to them first?
Yeah, they did that first, like a while back, where they did the same thing. But
But
I mean, like stuff like that, like using like like scum tactics and that stuff like that. I mean, that's not really cheating to me. That's just like knowing the rules and being like
right,
smart about it.
it's still a little bit dirty. Like here, okay, I got a question. We're gonna go on the topic of Madden, right? So a dude I know said he's gonna slap the hell out of Crush when he sees him in person.
Yeah.
This
All right.
person, I mean, he said it out loud. Hell, I'll just say his name's Zay. He
Okay.
made the live
Yeah.
event earlier this year. I've known him for a couple years. Anyways, so you know when you're watching the the tournament, how they take a delayed game at the start and
Yeah, they declined the
they
penalty,
decline
so
it.
that
Well,
yeah.
I guess he let Crush do it,
And
and
then he
then when Zay
accepted.
did it, Crush accepted it on him.
Oh, when did this happen? Like
It
online?
was 2 days ago.
Oh, so it was on stream or something.
No, it wasn't on stream. It was on their the Draft Champ tournament.
Okay,
But
gotcha.
the only reason I know is because he went in Discord and was like, "I'm gonna slap the hell out of you when I see you, Crush. That was dirty. You're a blah blah whoop de whoop. I won't say the words." And then I
Yeah.
asked Zay, I was like, "What's up? What happened?" He's like, "Yo, Crush, like accepted the penalty to get a free
Yeah.
5 yards." And I told him, I'm like, I'm gonna be honest, man. Crush is the same dude who cut me out of some big money. I mean, so I know how Crush works. I know how they all work. And another thing, you definitely need to have a huge group, like a huge group. I broke it down. I was told yesterday. You know how many players are top Madden in 818? Did you know they're the same crew?
Are they really? I
Yep,
didn't know that.
I didn't know
Yeah.
that either. They're just a subdivision, I guess. The guy told me, he goes, the 818 crew will lab together 24/7, right?
Uh-huh.
Um, Top Madden, the other ones outside of 818 will lab together 24/7. However, they're still a part of each other's group overall, and so when they go against other crews, they'll all mic up and lab together. But I mean, that makes they have like 15 or 16 players now in a crew, bro. Tell me, to be honest with me, Trey. You don't think that if we had 16 members that are pro players, you don't think that it'd be easy to be really, really good every year?
Oh yeah, definitely. I agree with that. Like if we had more players, we would be it's definitely smart by them. So,
Oh no,
but I
definitely.
mean,
It's about them. They're monopolizing the board. I mean, think about this, bro. So it's me, you, and our crew, but then you add in Kiv, Mo, Hollywood. We'll even throw in Crush and Joe Rice. Problem. Um, Scheming. You don't think that like at this we would be way better if they were loyal? Like I'm talking about if we were a real crew. If we had those guys that make live events. Lucky Crush and Joe Rice. They were never making live events until they got with 818 and Top Madden. Now they're making live events. They were me, bro. They were me. So I mean, and here I'll say another thing. Have you been watching? And I'm blabbing a little bit a lot today, so I'm a little on one right now. Trey, did you check in the stream at all on Dreeny yesterday?
you know what? I didn't really see. I watched a couple of streams. Like I don't know what it is, but for some reason, whenever I try to watch streams on Twitch, it's all laggy. But
Oh, okay.
but
Well,
so
here,
you probably know more than me. But what happened?
no, it's just what did I always say, Trey? That pro players will help who,
Other pro players.
and if they're Nicholas, I am talking about pro Madden players in the community. Um, Nicholas is a little bit lost, so I had to. I'm trying to explain.
Okay. Okay.
Nicholas, it's basically about pro players. They all group up. They have crew. They form a team. So like a lot of the top players, they form a team. So like instead of it being the Seattle Seahawks or Dallas Cowboys, it's Top Madden and whatever else. Anyways, so I am in the stream, right? Dreeny's tied with this kid. All the pros are in there, right? I mean, all of them. Different crews, right? So I'm like, okay, so I'm just
Right.
watching the chat. It's 6-6. This kid is battling, bro, right? He is battling with Dreeny. Well, guess what starts happening when it starts getting late? All the pros start helping him. Hey, this kid runs this on this formation. His first read is towards this. Hey, on offense, do this. You will attack them more. And these are all pro members from different crews helping each other out because they didn't want a random to beat them, bro. And secondly, what really pissed me off, And I almost said something, but I was like, "Nah, Shane, keep your mouth shut. It's not your business." There was a couple people in there that said they go around and ask people what somebody runs, right?
Hmm.
And how they beat this and how they attack this. And the random player, because they're talking to a pro member, they'll tell them like, "Hey, I run this with this, and this is what I do. I struggle for this," and then the pro member will feed them a bullcrap lie what they do. But now they got the real info on the random, and they all laughed about it and thought it was funny.
Yeah, that's messed
You
up.
know how
I
bad
can
that
see
is,
it.
bro. You know that is so dirty, bro. Like, and then I mean, yes, and then the pros started arguing about who the top crew was, but in the end, you know what? All they were doing, they were just worried about who was that random was not going to win. The pros all got together like superpowers. So I mean, that's what I mean. I don't know. What's your thoughts on that, bro?
Yeah, I think it's dirty, for sure. Um, and and I don't know, but I mean, like, I want to actually go back to the original point real quick. Do you think that Zay would actually fight Crush, or do you think he was just saying that?
He told me he would, but like I said, I even told him. I said, "Are you actually really gonna, or is it like like how Madden players say, I'm gonna slap you when I see you, boy,' and then don't do
Yeah.
anything." I don't know. I don't know Zay personally in that aspect, or like that really at all. So maybe he would, maybe he wouldn't, but what I've seen from most of the community is that 99% just talk. They're just talkers. They make it up. They're such badasses, and then they see each other in person, and they're like, "Hey, how's it going?"
Yeah, so what's your opinion on the whole audible thing? Like do you like need see, because me personally, when I'm in a game, I kind of just fly through my audibles. But if my opponent has wants to set them, then I'll decline the penalty or whatever. But how do you do that personally?
I don't even like. I don't ask them for that. I don't ask for anything.
Yeah.
Like I set my audibles up. I I set my audibles up right away, bro. Like
Yeah.
what I'll do is let's just say I'm playing, right? Okay, so I log into a game, I match up with somebody.
Yeah.
I will set up one formation at a time because I have like a pre-script almost of 10 to 15 plays that I'm going to use right away. And
Right.
then I'm going to adjust to how you're playing. So, yeah, so the first 10 to 15 plays, you might see a rhythm and uh, what's that called? Predictive out offense, I'll say.
Right.
But I'm not really worried about that because it's only like a half a quarter. Depending on how you come out, I have one of four plays that I'm going to run. There's two runs and there's two passes. So I won't go into the whole spiel, but I set up the audibles just fine, and I honestly, bro, I don't need to take a delay game. It's because what they do is they take a delay game so they can set up all their audibles for everything. Where I just do it formation by formation, and then I'm set. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, but what I'm saying is that if someone like message you and say, "Hey, can I set up my audibles?" Would you decline it, or would you just say no? So,
I mean, if they agreed that they do it to me too, I
yeah,
decline it. But if they're like, nah, just let me do it, I'd fucking I freaking accept it. Pardon my
yeah,
language. It's
yeah,
West Coast
accept
Madden
it then.
Podcast. I just got fined. Anyways, yeah. I mean, I would accept it. I mean, it is what it is. But if you agree beforehand, like, hey, we're gonna decline it when we set up our audibles, and then you accept it, you're kind of scummy, bro. You're kind of dirty.
Yeah, for
But here's
sure.
another
So,
thing, there, bro. There's been a lot of people here. You know how you're saying? Do you think that if Zay saw Crush, he would or wouldn't.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the thing. There's people that owe people money, and they said if they saw each other live event, they'd
Yeah.
fight each
Yeah.
other. Never did.
Yeah,
So,
just sounds like a bunch of keyboard warriors to me. So, but but I feel like that's like one of my biggest concerns with the Matic community because I feel like for some reason like everybody in the Matic community because I know that 90% of them probably never been in a fight in their life, but they have to like pretend like they know how to fight when they don't know how to fight. Probably, you know what I mean?
well, you know what the thing is? You know what the problem is with. I'll say this. You know what the problem is with people in general is they think they have to be so tough if you're a guy, right? There's still a stigma. Like, you know how women are kind of breaking out and, like, if they want to go work outside the home in the last 20 years or 15 years, it's getting more and more accepted. But there's a
Yeah,
stigma. Like, when a woman has a baby, a lot of men will still, think the woman should change the diaper, feed the baby, whoop de whoop, and all that stuff. Well, with men, it's you're not supposed to cry. You're not supposed to really show emotion unless you're mad. You need to know how to fix vehicles. You need to know how to fight. But you know what would make the world better is, well, I'll say I know a guy, and I won't say it out loud, his name obviously, but I know a guy personally that is soft as tissue, bro. As soft as wet tissue. But you know how easy it would be to beat him sometimes? Like, picture this,
yeah,
right? So somebody's talking crap to him. You know what he'd do? He'd get up and leave and be like, come on, to his wife and kids. Let's just go. There'd be no. He doesn't want any confrontation. And I'm not saying that, like, if somebody broke into his house, he wouldn't, you know what I mean, handle business that way. But I'm talking about, like, some guy's talking crap to him, saying he's a wuss outside. He'll be like, okay, get in his car and go home, right?
right.
Me, I'm going to get all pissed off. So I think it'd be easier, in my opinion, to be somebody like that where they just let things roll off their back and it's not a big deal in their circle because you know what? In my circle growing up, it was about how tough you were as a boy. It was how bad you could be in a fight. And you know what? I grew up and did that. And I just think that it's a poor stigma, just like crying. Like, why can't a guy cry? I mean, we're all humans.
Yeah,
You see what I'm saying? Like, and I mean, I'm a little bit more emotional. I'm Italian and French. I mean, they're emotional people. I'm
yeah,
just saying, like, I think the stigma needs to change a little bit. Do I still think that like open it? I'll open a door for a man or a woman. How about that?
yeah, yeah.
But I will still go pump my wife's gas all the time because I'm the man still in that sense. Does that make
Yeah,
sense?
yeah, I got you. I
But
know
I
what
think
you
we should
mean.
move past that, and it might help the younger generation. I mean, even younger than you, more like Nicholas's age. I think like if you cannot just have to be tough or try to act tough, because you know how many kids try to act tough and then go get beat up so bad they go to the hospital, or they try to show that
Yeah,
they're tough and they commit a crime that their heart wasn't really that way and they go to jail because they're trying to show off because they're a man, right? They're a man. So I think we need to work as people that men don't have to be these bad, you know what I'm trying to say, bad boys, I guess.
yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure. So, all right, with all that being said, definitely look. I think that the draft champions tournament starts on the 30th, I believe, and so that and I know Shane he was streaming his team of the year solos, and then he ended up getting I I forgot who he got already. That's pretty bad, but I'm gonna look right now. Who did you get in
Oh,
your
are you talking
rookie
about on
year?
salary cap, bro?
No, from your solo events. When you
Oh, for solo, I got Jamal Adams, 96.
okay, yeah,
And I made him. Here, look at my defense. It's on screen right now so people can see it. I
yeah,
mean, but that's my defense. I have 97 Kevin Byard and 98 Jamal Adams. But no, last chance qualifier starts January 28th.
yeah.
So,
So do you plan on because you didn't really stream much or have that much, but do you plan on maybe doing some streams for last chance
oh,
qualifier
last chance
for
qualifier is going to be every day.
okay, that's what's up. So
Every
you
day.
guys can look forward to streams. So
Yeah, every day, y'all. I'm gonna be in there, gonna be raging, gonna be crying some days, gonna be throwing my head out the window and then picking it up and booting it across the yard. But no, January 28th to about February 26th, 27th, I'll be doing it daily, and then after that, I'm gonna be moving and getting ready for a new baby. But for the first month of last chance qualifier, I will be doing it every day. So yeah, so you definitely tune in, you guys. And then in March, I'll probably play somewhat and stream when I do play. So yeah, I'll be streaming both months, but January to February or late January to February through February, I'll be streaming daily.
yeah. All right, T. So with that being said, we're approaching in on the 1 hour mark. So Shane, is there anything you want to say? And if there's anybody in the chat, do you all have any questions for us before we bounce on out of here for the week?
Um, as you guys know, I did mud draft and I ended up getting eliminated, which I mean, kind of sucks. You know, honestly, you do so much and then it falls short. I'm always like a game or two away, more so in salary cap clubs. But I mean, the one thing that I think they should do in MUT draft, I think the team should be a little bit more fair. Like, I mean, my fastest guy had 90 speed, and then I find out, other players have 95 speed players. And I know it's random, but I mean, does it really show who's better? I guess you know what I mean. But I mean, it is what it is. You got to take your lumps, and handle your business. But I'll be back next year, obviously. I might be a little bit more tired with a newborn, but we'll handle business.
Yeah, for sure. And then we're gonna be here for the last chance qualifier too, so we still got some shots. And I mean it's he's getting close to. I mean you've made every leaderboard that there is. It's just
It's just
online eliminate. It's yeah.
I mean, like I said, I mean, I was one game away last year. I lost Kiv. I think I was 2 games away or a game away this year, but I lost and I had to go to the losers bracket. But I mean, I'm right there. Yeah, I agree. I'm right there. Do I think I'll eventually break through? I do. Could it be this year on last chance qualifier? Maybe. Could it be next year? Maybe. But I think eventually I'll break through. Nicholas asked Trey, how many touchdowns do you think Derrick Henry is going to score against the Chiefs? I will say one.
I'm gonna be safe and go with I think he scores two. I
Okay.
kind of want to I kind of want to say three, but I mean who knows because if they're gonna use Derrick Henry to get all the way up the field, then they're probably gonna either QB sneak or put in like a relief back like Dion Lewis. I think Dion Lewis people are kind of sleeping on Dion Lewis. I still think Dion Lewis is pretty good, but they'll probably put him in when they get to the goal line. So
But you know what I think they're going to do, though, is I think the Chiefs are going to play like 8 men in the box. I think they're going to do,
yeah,
excuse me, I think they're going to do one-on-one press and force Tannehill to beat him. And if Tannehill beats him consistently, then, good job. Luke,
yeah.
no, I'm not single. What's up, Jay Smooth? What's going on, bro? Luke,
Are
I
you
am not
single?
single. I don't know if you're trying to troll me or not, bro, but I'm married. Trey, are you single? Maybe he's asking you.
single and ready to mingle.
What's going on, Smooth? How's your day going, bro? Yo, but no, I'm not single, Luke. If you're talking to me, bro, I think you asked me that when I was streaming a couple of days ago. Yo, man, I'm good, bro. I'm good. I'm not looking. I'm not
He's
trying for
not
anything.
he only plays on one side of the bat. He's not a double
I'm
batter.
not a switch hitter.
Yeah.
Yo, Smooth. Um, yeah, I think it's gonna be between 1250 and 1300 for the first month, bro. That's what I think, and I think the second month is gonna be 1350 to 1400 for salary cap. Oh, okay, Luke. Yeah, I'm married, and um, Trey is single and down to mingle, I guess. I don't think with you though. Yo, hey, like I said, be careful of Mama Boucher in here, bro. Mama Boucher will ban everybody. West Coast Madden Podcast, definitely for sure. Anybody else got any any other questions? Oh, how many touchdowns is Travis Kelsey scoring? I'll say 0. Trey, what do you say?
Oh, what was the question? What?
How many man focus, bro.
Sorry.
How many touchdowns will Travis Kelsey score? I say 0.
Yes, that sounds about right to me. I would probably say 0.
Um
Kelsey's good though.
he is good. Oh, also you guys, I forgot to say January 25th will be sub day, so you can play me if you're a subscriber. That is a Saturday. I will probably get on at 10 a.m. or 11 a.m. West Coast time, Pacific time. So just be ready if you guys want to play. Show up that time. Know your time frame. So if you're in East Coast, it'll be 1 p.m. Central Time. It'll be 12, and then the next one won't be till like April or May. So don't ask me until April or May. But January 25th, Saturday, is subscriber day. I'll play as many people that want to play me in like a 4 or 5 hour period.
Hmm.
So just letting you guys know, letting everybody know advance time, and then I won't be doing another subscriber day until probably, honestly probably till May or June, and then that'll be the last one for Madden 20, and then we'll do it again in Madden 21 down sometime. But that right now is the scheduled time frames. And if you want to play Trey, send him $100 and he'll play you.
$100.
But all right,
Oh,
you
that's
guys, we're
funny.
gonna shut down the West Coast Madden podcast. I'm Shanegotyou11. Like I said, always with me is Trey. We will be back Thursday, January 23rd at 5 p.m. Pacific time. I appreciate all you guys being here, from Nicholas to Smooth to Jake to Luke. Luke, I didn't take it personal, bro, so you're good, man. But we will talk to you guys next time, January 23rd at 5 p.m. Pacific time.